We're looking at question number 1 here on the guided practice, and the question reads, a health food store sells seasoning blends in bulk. One blend contains 20% basil. Sheila wants to add pure basil to some 20% blend to make 16 ounces of her own 30% blend. Let B represent the amount of basil Sheila should add to the 20% blend. Now, as I read this and I look at the chart given, I get a little confused about where the 100% basil comes from. When they have something that's pure, that's where the 100% is. Also, from reading this question, we know that in total, she wants to make 16 ounces of her own 30% blend. So, of the 30% blend, we can go to ounces and we can fill in the 16. So we've got our 16 in for the ounces in the 30% basil blend. The last sentence of the question says, let B represent the amount of basil Sheila should add to the 20% blend. So to get our 30% blend, we are adding 100% basil to the 20. So our 100% basil becomes B. Now, from this information, we know that we are adding this 20% basil blend to the 100% basil blend. So, if we have 16 ounces total, we can take away this amount of 100% basil, which we said was B, to get our 20% basil blend. That blend amount becomes 16 minus B. And then my favorite part of this is always this third column over here, and that is adding in those spots, and we just are taking our amounts and putting them into decimal form because it wants to know the amount of basil in that blend. So there's 20% in this first one, and that in decimal form is 0.20. For the 100% basil, that is 1 because 100% is 1 whole. 30% becomes 0.30. Now in class, our problems, they had a third column over here usually, right? So in class, we said we multiply across. So that times that, that times that, and that times that to get the information that'll go here. Now after you multiply across, these over here are the answers you should have gotten. Now, just like we added down this way to get our total, we are going to add these two together to get equal to this one for when we go to write our equation to represent the problem. Now I copied our equation down, and if you can see right here, I just put B for 1B because 1 times B is simply just B. Now when we go to distribute here, we will now get 3.2 minus 0.2b plus b equals 4.8. For our final equation to represent the problem, I will just combine these like terms to get 3.2 plus 0.8b equals 4.8. Now we're looking at part C of this, and we want to know how many ounces of basil should Sheila use to make the 30% blend. So I took my equation from the previous part, and I'm going to start by solving for B. So we will minus 3.2 from each side to cancel those, and we will get 0.8b equals 1.6. We will then divide by 0.8, balance that, divide by 0.8, those cancel, and we will get B equals 2. So if we go back to what our question asks in our chart, if you guys are still looking at that, it'll say B is in that spot for the pure basal, which is what this is asking when it asks for that basal. And the B's there, so we know just 2 ounces. And don't forget to label that for that question. 2 ounces. You can put OZ for ounces. Now, if we know B equals 2, we can go again to our chart and look in the slot for the 20% blend under ounces, and that will say 16 minus B. If we substitute 2 in for that B, we get 16 minus 2 to get 14 ounces of the 20% blend for our total.